Is it ready? Thank you. Thank you. Hey, hello everyone. Thank you for staying here. We're gonna start with this short talk of this morning, with the last one for this morning. My name is Waldo Soto. I'm originally from Chile, and I'm gonna present you to the Young Climathon event format that we experienced some weeks ago in Chile. So I hope you enjoy this talk and you enjoy also the conversation later. I'm gonna try to be like quick, so we can have like 10 minutes or 15 minutes talk after the presentation. So we start. I'm representing the social change platforms 2811. 2811 is a social enterprise based in Colombia and Chile, and we work with the educational system in Latin America, mainly with universities, but also with the schools. Why 2811? Because the 28th of November on 2015, Chile technically started to be an unsustainable country, according to the footprint network analysis. So that's the reason behind the name of our social change platform. So before presenting you the Young Climathon format, I would like to address with you the question if it is possible to take action. We have that the slogan for this talk is, for this conference this year, is time for action. But our question was, is it possible to take action in context of high vulnerability? Is it really possible? Then, is it possible then to support, if we are seeing the uprising of social movements led by young people, is it possible to support them in a better way to take action, again in context of high vulnerability? And then we really narrowed down this question to the specific case of Chile. Uh, we are from Chile, then we applied this question to this country. So why Chile is a country presenting today a high level of vulnerability? Well, first of all, because we are located in a zone of the continent where we have typically like really significant geographical events as earthquakes. The first picture, the picture in your right here, is a picture of the strongest earthquake on Earth that we have experienced like human beings. It was in Valdivia just 50 or 70 years ago. So that's a reason also because we are in a context of high vulnerability, but also due to climate change consequences mainly, we are facing today a really strong drought in the north part and central north part of Chile, and also a significant amount of fires in the last years. Then the climate change topic also is in a way transmitting some issues regarding how we communicate the climate change consequences. We ask to the kids of one city in Chile, in particularly 61 kids of one school, we ask them what are the main emotions that they feel when they listen the climate change communication data. And this is, and they pick it up three emotions. And what they said sadness, anguish, they feel powerless, they feel concern, they feel pain. Those are the emotions that the kids feel when they listen climate change communication data. And we have tested this question in different events, in different contexts, and we always have the same. So the climate change communication efforts is also provoking some vulnerability in our context. Then, internally, as a country, we also have, I would say, a really bad management of some resources, as water, for instance. We have technically speaking, a private water scheme where I don't know if you heard some news in the last weeks or the last months rather about the avocado issue in Chile, where some companies of avocado are taking illegally, in some cases, water from some reservoirs and some rivers. And now Petorca, one of the cities in the central north part of Chile, is facing a really significant drought due to this. So it's not just climate change, it's also because we have internally some environmental issues. We have still, I would say, a high level of vulnerability in some human rights, in particular in some cities, and again in this central north part of Chile, due to thermoelectric plants based in coal, basically. So we have really dramatic cases, actually, in some cities polluted by those plants. So then we are a really unequal country. If you check here the list of the Gini coefficient for the group of the OECD countries, Chile is listed at the bottom of this list with the highest inequality index. Then this is also a social vulnerability or social economic vulnerability issue we have. Then, in the last months, and this was one of the reasons because we have this conference here in Madrid now and not in Chile, we experienced a really brutal police repression for the social movement in Chile. And I checked yesterday the last data, the official data from one specific medical school in Chile, and we have today 279 cases of severe eye trauma in people participating in those manifestations due to mainly rubber bullets. So I don't know if maybe you can double check later the data in other social movements, in other manifestations, like here in Barcelona, for instance, they had 10 cases and they are really shocked because of that. So imagine what it means for us having 260 almost cases with this issue. So, is Chile a kind of vulnerable country then? It is, in our opinion. So, we apply this question of how to support young people to take action. Again, this is the slogan of our conference, Time for Action, in this kind of context. Then our idea of solution, I would say our hypothesis of solution was having an event. So we start calling students, like activist students, to this event to support them to take action regarding climate change issues. So we designed an open source event to foster young climate activism through innovation methods. That is our hypothesis of solution, or like approaching to some solutions at least. So I'm going to show you now a 3-minute video where you can experience in a better way, not just like in my words, what happened that day where we took the question of how we support young people and also in this context of high vulnerability. We had this young Climathon, we call it like that. I don't know if we had the video already. Yeah? Great. So we had this in a really medium-sized city. It's called Linares. It's also my hometown. And we had this event actually in my school.
Llega al tema del cambio climático desde una perspectiva positiva. Así que este evento trata a mostrar que todos somos juntos en esto. Todo el mundo está tratando de cambiarse para mejorar la situación. Hoy día conectamos con Valencia, España, y una ciudad en Suiza, donde están haciendo el mismo evento.
cuando hablamos del cambio climático tiene una connotación negativa, ¿no? Pensamos que muchas cosas malas van a pasar y lo que hace un Climathon, por ejemplo, es algo mucho más positivo en donde mucha gente al final siente que puede aportar algo para de verdad solucionar el cambio climático.
Climathon para jóvenes de la ciudad entre 12 y 19 años. En la mañana estuvimos indagando qué era el cambio climático, cómo afecta a la ciudad. Los estudiantes crearon soluciones en desarrollo, en mejoras de áreas verdes de la ciudad, también en mejoras de condiciones para los ciclistas. Esto sabemos que es una semilla inicial, no es el trabajo final, una semilla que esperamos que en esta generación y en las futuras generaciones nos puedan llevar a una ciudad más inclusiva, una ciudad que esté mejor preparada al cambio climático, pero también una ciudad donde como ciudadanos, como activistas sociales también nos tomemos los espacios públicos y podamos compartir más.
Bueno, la finalidad de esto es crear cultura medioambiental en la comuna de Linares. Este tipo de proyectos ayudan o potencian a la comunidad educativa que necesitan los estudiantes para tener las herramientas para implementarla algún día en el mañana.
Creo que actividades de este tipo es muy bueno que se hagan porque ayuda a los jóvenes a tomar conciencia, pero acá nos dan la confianza y nos motivan y nos inspiran a que en el futuro podamos cambiar y podamos mejorar la sociedad para tener un futuro mejor.
La tradición cuesta mucho erradicarla porque trae arraigadas muchas costumbres que en los jóvenes es súper importante que cambien. Los jóvenes son el punto de cambio para todas estas cosas. Creo que es el puntapié inicial para que se genere un movimiento a nivel mundial que despierte nuestros corazones hacia nuestra tierra.
La gente se fue con una sonrisa grande porque hicieron soluciones que de verdad aportan algo a la ciudad de Linares.
Thank you. So there you had a summary of the event we had in this, thank you, in this city. It's called Linares again. It is in the central south of Chile. It's a really poor city, so it was really important for us having this event together. So the challenge we raised for the kids was how can we improve public spaces so they can be more inclusive and more, and also environmentally friendly, environmentally responsible also. Why inclusive? Because that is also one of the main issues we had in Chile, that we are not mixing among ourselves that much. So that's the reason, because we add also to the solution requirements that future. Then the day before, we had a workshop with teachers assessing the possibilities of integrating the topic of climate change in the curriculum. So that was really important, because the next day we were talking with the students in a way that they already knew about the topic we were talking with them. So that was really important for us, also having this workshop with teachers. And then some pictures you can see now. You can see some pictures now of the Young Climathon with the students. It was an 8 or 9 hours event. We mixed students from different schools, also from public schools and also private schools. And also we had during the entire event the topic of like conscious food, conscious meal. So we were talking with them about that during the breaks. That's kind of a side thing. Then this is the structure in a way of the city. Like medium-sized cities and also big cities in Chile are basically, they have almost the same structure, I would say. And we were analyzing with them the green areas we had in this city. Then some criteria for the solutions, as I was saying before, we were asking them to make an improvement in the city conditions to face better the climate change consequences. Urban green spaces can be a good way of improving the city conditions under climate change effects, but also can be a good way to promote inclusiveness, which is, again, one of the main issues in Chile now. Um, just a summary of the features we had for this event. First, we were setting an environment of radical collaboration. We didn't promote the idea of having one winner or a winner team, for instance. So we set an environment of radical collaboration. Then we had this capacity building workshop for teachers. We are having, actually today, the kids are having mentoring sessions with a local NGO. We did a really rigorous field analysis just before the event, and also we promote the teamwork among the kids and also in our team. Some tools that you can check later. I mean, you can check later the presentation, but you can access to those tools in our website and also in the website of Young Innovators Climate KIC. Just to name one, maybe, we, together with one university, we took some experts of this university to Chile, to this city, and with them, we had an analysis of the solutions under the inclusivity issues or topic. So we were evaluating also the solutions, if they were inclusive or not for all. Just to name one method. Then were kind of the solutions that the student arrived. We had a lot of ideas for cyclist solutions. It is a really flat city, but we are not using the car that much, so we have an opportunity there to advance. Then they were redesigning some public spaces so they can fit sport facilities, but also green spaces facility for people that they are not doing sports. Then also surprisingly, from the teachers' workshop, we had this solution. In the coffee break, one of the teachers approached me, and they suggest me to have this method to present the issue to the kids. She designed it during the workshop, a patient care method. So you can present the issue of global warming to the kids in a way that the doctors are presenting us today our own issues, our health issues. And this is a way also improving the empathy feeling with the kids regarding the planet. Then, at the end, we realized that we rather like fostering kids or like promoting something on them, we decided that the best question is rather how can we collaborate with them, because they have already a lot of ideas. We were setting, for instance, this idea of radical collaboration, and they were far more collaborative than us, like regarding teamwork, for instance. So our position, I would say, this was kind of the insights of this session, was collaborate with them, right? Rather than having like a different position, a higher position sometimes for supporting them. So now we are sharing this question also with different events around Europe mainly. There was the first time that this event was taken outside Europe, and the idea is to take this event to also different countries. We are sharing this question, doing this event also, you can see here in Valencia, in these pictures, also in Milan, also in Utrecht, also in St. Gallen, and also in other different cities in Europe. Who we are again? We are 2011, a social change platform for Latin America. We promote social innovation in the field of climate change and education. And we are supporting this format in Latin America so we can address the issue of climate change under context of high vulnerability. Young Innovators is the program of Climate KIC, and Young Innovators is the office here in Europe also supporting the taking of this method for schools. So if you want to maybe in the next year to run one of the Young Climathons events to test the question also with your city, you can do it through the Young Innovators program. And that's it. Thank you for being here today. And I don't know if you have questions also now, or you can check our website, is 2811.cl, where you can see with more details the methodologies we have and also some of the outcomes we have from this event. So thank you, all of you, and good luck for this day and today also, and tomorrow also. Thank you. Yes. I don't know, maybe Seba, I can, there, thank you.
Hi, my name is Valentina. I'm from the University of Waterloo in Canada, but I'm Chilean born and raised. So first of all, I want to thank you for your presentation, and I think it's very important to acknowledge what is happening in Chile right now, because while we're the hosters of this massive event about fighting climate change, it's super important to say that in Chile, human rights are being violated and by the Chilean government. So I really appreciate that you show the pictures of how many people have lost their eye by rubber bullets from the police. So yeah, thank you so much for that. And I want to ask you about if the data you have about the emotions if you have if you analyze that by social class, or because you said we have public and private schools and Chile is very segregated, so I will say that maybe you will find differences between that. So I don't know, you have done something, you found differences. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a good question. We are not doing that still. We are just sharing the same question. Where are the three main emotions regarding climate change they feel in any of the workshops we are doing? So, but it will be nice. We have this question also with other partners of Climate KIC, and actually the University of Munich in Germany, they are having a workshop the next April to address the same question, because a lot of groups in different universities in different parts of the world are raising the same issue. Maybe the way we are communicating climate change is not provoking action. It's provoking fear, it's provoking other emotions, and that's key also. So it will be nice also, and maybe I can share with you the workshop we are having in Munich the next April. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your presentation. I was really impressed with your work. And my name is Emily McGlone. I'm working as a director of an international organization called Peace Boat. And we travel to Chile, often from Argentina, traveling through Patagonia and up to Valparaiso. And I was wondering, do you work with other national organizations that are working on environmental issues, for example, CODEF, the National Committee to Protect the Flora and Fauna of Chile, or do you have a plan to reach out to other schools? Because I think it's a really incredible program, and this is the time that Chile needs that kind of support for young people.
Yeah, I would say this is the time for taking this for the entire Latin America. I mean, we have a huge opportunity to, like, I would say, collaborate better with the social movement that the youth are having today, are leading today. Yeah, the answer is yes. I'm part also of a network for protecting rivers in Chile, the Red de los Ríos Libres. And also we are collaborating with Wale Foundation, and this foundation is also connected to different activist foundations in Chile. Yeah, and yeah, so yes, thank you for the question. Any other question? Yes, here.
Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Yahya Saleh Ibrahim from Kaduna State University, Nigeria, Northern Nigeria. I just want to find out from you whether you can, allow your questionnaire to also be tested down to Nigeria, so that you make comparison of whether the status of the student in private and public universities actually define their conception about climate change. I also want to know whether it has high influence, and that will make, a kind of comparison for all of us to understand that maybe the children have the same emotional position of, taking fear from what we present as campaign for climate change. Because most of the times what we present as an issue is actually turning out to be an emotional attachment for the children and women, or particularly to have a kind of state of confusion instead of resolving the problem. What I'm demanding from you is to share the questionnaire and let's see whether the response is going to be the same. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. Yes, the idea is since the half of the next year, since the middle of the next year, the idea is to start collaborating with Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya through Weltweit Foundation, a German foundation that we are collaborating with. So yes, we are really open to really know more about Nigeria. We're now collaborating with 2 universities in Lagos. So yes, and yeah, just a quick thing to add to that. It's really unfair that some kids from any part of the world, and mainly for the, sort to say, undeveloped world or the developing world in economic classical terms also, it's really unfair the feeling they have today of guiltiness, like of feeling guilty about this. It's like really too much pressure over their shoulders. I mean, they are not the ones that did this, right? And even they are not the parents of these kids, right? We know who did this, we know where they are. So yeah, it's really, I think we have to be more cautious in a way, in the way that we are communicating this issue with kids, and so they can really take action and not feeling guiltiness, not feeling sad about this. Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Hongbo from Chinese Academy of Sciences. I'm very appreciate your encouraging topic and the great efforts you have made in education and responsible to climate change. Actually, I just want to know whether is that possible to add some courses, around climate change or climate change economics in primary school or junior school to let kids know the situation we are facing about climate change and the climate damages in the future. In that case, maybe can help children to change their lifestyles to be more green in the future. You know that climate change is a very long-term problem. Maybe it's not enough for us to just change it in our generation. We need more efforts from the next generations. So I wonder whether you have made some efforts in this respect in Chile or some other countries. Thanks.
Yeah. Sorry. Can you hold the mic a bit? Just to double check if I understood well. Are you asking if we are planning to this also with more technical schools also, or I think I misunderstood?
Yeah, just is that possible to add some courses such like climate change or climate change economics in the regular course program in some countries or nations, no matter for developed country or developing countries? Have you ever tried to do that?
Yeah, a particular, thank you. Yeah, on Wednesday, no, it was on Thursday, we had a meeting with a congresswoman also from Chile, and she's really open to take this issue to the Ministry of Education also, so we can, I mean, the teachers also in Chile, they are really overwhelmed because they have a lot of work and they are not well paid. So we cannot add actually like an extra class, but yes, we can add more didactics or methods to the current classes, So we can do that, and we have like an open, I will say, window to do so, since we have this, and also since in Chile other organizations also are advancing a lot on this. So I think it's possible, and actually after the workshop for teachers, 2 principals declared that they wanted to create an elective class so that the kids can take the climate change class, but as an elective during the afternoons or during the weekend also. So, yeah, I think it's totally possible. It's just, I think we have to be in a way, cautious of how we involve the teachers to this, because again, I don't know the case in China, but at least in Chile, the teachers, they already have a lot of work to do. Yeah. Thank you. And that's it. Yeah. Well, thank you all. Have a nice afternoon. Have a nice end of the week, and enjoy your weekend here if you are staying here in Madrid. Yeah. Really nice to meet you, all of you here. Enjoy.